Welcome to the channel. I'm Daniel and this is my marathon journey. Over the next 16 weeks I shall be going through my training all the way to the London Marathon in April of 2025, which I shall be running on behalf of the Royal British Legion, who have very kindly granted me a place on the start line of the London Marathon. I could not be prouder to be supporting this charity, full details of which I will put down in the description below for you, but just know as a former serving soldier, this is a charity which is very close to my heart and I'm very honoured to be supporting them on this journey. Speaking of journeys, this is a bit of an introduction. So, if you'd like to share your introduction to running, just pop it down in the comments below and I'd be more than happy to read through and share my views as well. This is my journey into running. It all started when I visited my aeromedical examiner, who told me that I was overweight. At 108 kilos, I could not agree more with him, and that spurred me into action and I jumped onto the Couch to 5K program. From there, I met my next door neighbour who was at a local running club, and that would be the Houghton Hall Casual Joggers. A fantastic club who, just 1 kilometre away, run 3 times a week around our local park run course for groups of all abilities. Trust me, when I first started, I was in the back of the pack and I've still not really got that much further forward. However, it is a fantastic place to go and I could not be more thankful for the support and love that they've all shared. That led me on to my first 10K plan, which I completed running the London Winter Run in the centre of London last year in 2024. It was there where I bumped into a few people from another little club that you may have heard of, called 40 Runners, who are an absolutely great club with over 60 local satellite clubs stretching all the way from the top of the country down to the south, and the global club, which I am a part of because there isn't a local one near to me. But that doesn't make any difference because all the runs that I go out and do, once I upload them onto Facebook or onto Strava, the club all find them and it's a great community of like-minded everyday runners, and it's all about the community. I was very lucky to meet up with all of the 40 runners at the Great North Run last year. That was my first half marathon after training all the way through the summer. I came off the back of that and run another half marathon in Nebworth, and that's pretty much where I am right now. So I can run up to about a half marathon distance, maybe just a little bit more, but I want to go that bit further. And that's where this training plan comes in. So you're going to see exactly what happens going from half marathon standard, running about 23-24 kilometers, all the way up to marathon distance, which is 42.2 kilometers. There's a lot to show you today. I'll be covering what happened at the back end of week 4 and week 5, as unfortunately, my first part of my training plan didn't quite go to plan. I had a hamstring injury and a calf injury, which meant that for the first 3 weeks, I wasn't able to do any running at all. But I still kept busy doing some cross training, doing a little bit of swimming, and now we can get back running. So we pick up the story halfway through week 4, the first time that I'm back out running again. And we end it, well, not exactly where I thought we would, as unfortunately I lost the footage for my big long run this Sunday just gone. But more on that a little bit later.
Well folks, today just a nice easy little 10k run, easing ourselves back in after having a good 2-week break due to the hamstring injury that we picked up on the left leg there. So we're out on a nice little loop that we've got here to get this nice easy 10k run done. This should ease our legs back in without putting too much stress on that already injured hamstring or on those calves. So we're in kilometre 2 at the moment, just bimbling along at around 6 minute per k pace, nowhere near any of my target paces, and that should keep us nicely within zone 2. So I'll catch up with you a little bit later on and let you know how the run goes. sit rep, and 10k is in the bag. Feel really good to have got that one done after having a couple of weeks out, and the most important thing is that we've got to the end of it completely injury free. The legs are feeling really good, a touch achy, but that's to be expected when you haven't run on them in 2 weeks. Feet are feeling good. We were running in the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4s, which performed absolutely fine. There was some slippery terrain out there, which you can't expect them to be miracle workers, but we ran on some gravel, we ran on some mud and on some tarmac, and they performed absolutely fine. But just really pleased to get that 10k done, and we move forward to a 12k long run in this part of our deload week for week 4 a little bit later on in the week. So we're going to head back now, get some stretches done, get the massage gun on these legs just to make sure that they're nice and fresh, ready for Friday. And as ever, I always recommend having a walk at the end of the run just to ensure that the legs get nicely worked down so that there's no tension in them before you start your rest. Oh, that feels so good. Well, very good evening, my lovelies, and welcome to a very wet, windy and cold Sunday long run. Just doing this as our second run of the week, coming back from that little hamstring injury that we picked up. This is just a nice, gentle, easy 12k at a conversational pace, trying to keep it within zone 2. And we've got the lovely Super Blast 2s on. Now I've got them in the blue and white. Whether they look like that at the end of the run remains to be seen. I can almost guarantee they won't. Welcome to marathon week number 5, and if anything, just happy to be back and running without the injury to the hamstring and to my calf, which put pay to a lot of the running that we were doing over Christmas and the New Year. There was a couple of easy runs that we were able to get done last week, and really happy with the progress on those. Today is workout Wednesday, and I've bailed out on the track. I did call them up and asked, and they said that there was some ice on the surface there. Probably not the best when you've just come back from injury to then risk putting yourself back out there with injury. So I'm heading to the gym, and I can set today's interval session up on the treadmill without too many difficulties. It's going to be a 3-kilometer warm-up. Then we've got 12 lots of 400 meters at 4 minutes 10 per kilometer, which is faster than my 5k time. Then we've got some walking rest of 60 seconds after each of those. Then we go into 200 meter reps, and we're doing 12 of those, and this is at 4 minutes per kilometer pace, which is even faster than my 5k pace. Now I'm hoping with those being some short reps, we should be able to achieve that pace and not be too tired by the end, and with a big effort towards the end. And this will be a good gauge to know where my fitness is at the moment. Have I dropped anything by having that few weeks break due to injuries? And are we still in a good state to be able to continue with some speed work other than just the easy runs which we've been doing? So I'm going to get into the gym and let you know how the session goes. I've got some apprehension with this speed that I'm going to be running at, but we do what we do. We're going to give it our all. back. That's the session done. Finished up the interval session there in the Pure Gym and could not be happier with the paces that I was able to achieve there. It was a bit touch and go. I thought, looking at it, I'm guilty of it, and I'm sure others are too, of looking at those paces and thinking that it's far too fast, especially when you're looking at the weeks ahead on your plan. And 4 minutes 10 per K for the 400 meter reps and 4 minutes per K for the 200 meter reps really did look daunting for me going in the gym. But that sense of achievement and pride when you know that it looks tough, but ultimately we've done those reps now, and I could not be happier with the end result of being able to walk out now knowing that I was able to run those with the adequate rest in between. We did the cool down, a few little stretches, and I'll do a few more once we get home just to ensure that these legs are good to go, ready for the easy run on Friday. But yeah, that's the interval session done, and it just shows that it can be done in a gym. You haven't got to go out and do it on the road. I initially was going to do mine up at Stockwood Park on the track, but it was icy up there today, so it would have been a little bit dangerous to do it. But keeping the treadmill rolling at the speed you want, and then just holding on the bar and lifting your feet up, putting them on the side rails of the treadmill while the treadmill's still rolling at the speed that you want to take your rest, and then gently lowering yourself back onto the treadmill to be able to start your next rep. That really did work wonders for me today, and going forward in the plan, that's definitely something that I'm going to be implementing more as we do more and more of the interval sessions, especially when the weather is inclement as it has been today. But that's our session done. Head home now, get the protein shake in, and look forward to the next session. Thanks for joining us, and hope you're all doing well.
Thursday, which means it's leg day. We're down at the Pure Gym. I've got my cousin Thomas with us, so we're going to go in and get it done. Catch us and see exactly how it goes.
So we just got back out from the session at Pure Gym. Today was that legs day. Hopefully you've just seen a few little highlights of what we've been able to achieve on this. More about the plan we're following in the coming weeks, which we're using, but I think it all went well. How did you find that one, Thomas?
Yeah, it was good. Intense, not too much. Yeah, I like it.
And I think those Copenhagen planks were probably the hardest thing that we've done today, but seeing some real progress, especially with what Thomas is doing. Knocking out 60 seconds on a Copenhagen plank now, which you think back
impossible.
to what we did at the beginning.
Oh yes,
it certainly wasn't able there to do that.
I couldn't do 6 seconds then.
No, but it just shows that a bit of strength and conditioning down at the gym really does work.
Oh yeah.
With a structured plan. We're doing twice a week at the moment. We did the
upper body day on Tuesday, legs day today, and I thoroughly recommend that if you're looking to get into any type of running, the strength and conditioning is what is going to keep you injury free and running as much as you possibly can. But that's our session done, so looking forward to the rest of the week. We've got an easy run tomorrow and then a long run on Sunday. That's going to be quite a good one, 23k's with some marathon pace in there as well. So thanks for joining us, let's get to it.
Well, good morning all. It's Friday and that means it's time for the easy run. 12k easy, just starting out now on a very cold and wintry morning here in Bedfordshire. Come with us, let's get it done. K's in, and I just feel like I have more questions than I do answers. Like, why is it so cold? There's no need for it to be this cold, surely. Whose idea was it to have marathons in the spring so that you have to then train through the winter? That just seems savage in my estimations. I just don't understand. But one thing I have worked out, because it's an easy run today, truck, is that we can go a different route. See, I have around 5 or 6 different routes that I tend to stick to, depending on the distance which I'm running, and depending on whether I want some terrain or not. But today, with it being an easy day, I've taken a risk, and at the pub where I would normally go straight on, I've decided to turn right and go somewhere completely new. So if this works out, then I can then use it on one of my longer efforts where I'm putting in some goal pace or something a little bit more higher up than this nice little easy pace of 6 minutes per K. So I'm going to get cracking, and we'll see what we can find up here. That's 5k's in and feeling really good. Legs are turning over nicely at this nice easy pace. One thing I am wondering though, my head clearly wasn't in the game when I left the house this morning, because I'm wearing notoriously the worst pair of shoes for slippery conditions, the Asics Nova Blast 3s. However, I can confirm that they are doing relatively well with these icy conditions, as we now have to contend with all the grit lorries coming out in front of us here. My, they are noisy. And on we go. So yeah, I have around 500 kilometers in these Asics Nova Blast 3s. I picked them up a couple of years ago. They were my first ever proper pair of running shoes. And at the time, just like probably you are, looking around YouTube for an idea as to what to get for your pair of running shoes that you're next going to purchase. And I saw some reviews on these and decided to take the plunge. And genuinely one of the best decisions I ever made. These things do your easy runs, your recovery runs. They can pick up the pace a bit. I've run 5Ks, 10Ks. I've even run a half marathon in these. And they performed absolutely fine. One thing I would say though, is be sensible about the colourway you're going to buy. I've got them in the bright yellow and blue, and there's absolutely no way they're going to stay looking like this for the rest of the time. Really enjoying this new route that we decided to take on as well. A little bit different. But once we get to the next roundabout, we'll start heading back towards town and finish up the rest.
When I'm sleeping with someone new, I just close my eyes and think of you. When I'm sleeping with someone new, I can't help myself, I wanna miss you. Still feel the way I feel.
10K's done. And it's all going really well here. I'm reminded on these easy runs sometimes of just why they are so enjoyable. I've got a nice playlist on in my headset. We've got no target. We're just happily bimbling along. Mile munching, as I like to call it. And we've only got 2Ks left to do. So we're gonna get these 2Ks done. Might end up doing a lap of the local park run course here, as that's always an enjoyable way to add an extra kilometre on if you've judged your run a little bit short on the way back, and try and get away from all these noisy cars. So 2K to go, let's get it done.
And that's where we're going to leave this week, folks. I wasn't able to get all of the video footage that I really wanted to show you exactly the highs and lows of that 23-kilometre long run. However, there'll be plenty of opportunity to do that later on throughout the training plan. So thank you very much indeed for joining me on this journey. I'll be back next week with an update for week 6, as well as looking into the training plan that I'm doing. If you haven't already, drop us a like, subscribe, or a comment below for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much to each and every single one of you, and to you all, bye bye for now.